Nobody saw this coming.
Gabriel Jesus is not done with Brazil. Not even close. After nearly 3 years in the international wilderness, after an ACL tear that could have rewritten his entire career, after watching others wear the famous yellow shirt without him, he's coming back. Or at least he believes he is. And here's the twist. If he pulls it off, it won't just change Brazil's World Cup squad. It could change Arsenal's season too. Let's rewind to understand the scale of this. November 2023. That was the last time Gabriel Jesus played for Brazil. Cap number 64. Then silence, injuries, selection shifts, new faces emerging. And then, in January 2025, disaster struck. A CL. The kind of injury that doesn't just sideline you, it questions you, it tests you, it forces you into isolation while the football world moves on, nearly a year out. For a striker whose game is built on sharpness, pressing, movement, instinct. That's brutal. But here we are. December return. Back in the Arsenal first team, and not just participating, producing 18 games, 6 starts, 5 goals, 2 assists, 675 minutes on the pitch. Now listen to this carefully. 1 goal involvement every 96 minutes. 96. That's elite efficiency, better than anyone else in Arsenal's forward line. Let's compare. Noni Madueke, 1 every 107 minutes. Gabriel Martinelli, 1 every 113 minutes. Victor Gyökeres, 1 every 124.9 minutes. Bukayo Saka, 1 every 229 minutes. Leandro Trossard, 1 every 273 minutes. Jesus leads them all. And he's doing it without being a guaranteed starter. That's not form. That's impact. That's a striker who still knows exactly where the net is. Now zoom out to Brazil. The Selecao are loaded with talent. Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo. World-class wingers, explosive, devastating. But the central striker role? Still open, still debated. Chelsea's João Pedro is in the conversation. Tottenham's Richarlison is in the mix. And here's the reality. If Brazil are seriously considering a striker struggling for rhythm at Spurs, that position is not locked down. It's waiting, and Gabriel Jesus knows it. Enter Carlo Ancelotti, the Brazil boss, a manager who values experience, big game mentality, players who understand pressure. Jesus has that in abundance. Premier League titles, Champions League pedigree, World Cup experience, and don't forget July 2019, Brazil's last major trophy, Copa America. Jesus scored, assisted, even got sent off in the final. Chaos and brilliance in the same night. That's him, high emotion, high stakes, high performance. He was also key at the last World Cup before injury curtailed his campaign. He's been there, he's felt it, and now he wants it again. But here's where this story becomes bigger than just Brazil. Because every ounce of motivation he carries for the national team benefits Arsenal. Think about it. A 28-year-old striker, contract until summer 2027, coming off a career-threatening injury, yet producing at a rate better than anyone in the squad. Hungry, focused, driven by international redemption. That's not a player coasting, that's a player chasing legacy. Mikel Arteta saw it early. Back in January, when whispers suggested Arsenal might move him on, Arteta shut it down instantly. No chance he was leaving. Why? Because beyond the numbers, Jesus brings something intangible. Dressing room influence, winning mentality, standards. Young players listen when he speaks. He's been there, he's done it, and now he's proving he can still deliver. Let's talk about those performances. Inter Milan last month, Champions League stage. Big lights, big pressure, 2 goals, man of the match. That's not coincidence. Throughout his career, some of his sharpest performances have come in Europe. He thrives in elite environments, and that matters when discussing Brazil. Ancelotti won't just be looking at domestic numbers. He'll be looking at who can deliver on the global stage, who can handle knockout tension, who won't freeze under the weight of expectation. Jesus checks that box. Now here's the challenge. Can he sustain it? Because 6 starts out of 18 appearances tells us something. He's not yet automatic first choice. He's earning his minutes. He's fighting for them. And maybe that's exactly what fuels him. Competition sharpens elite players. And Arsenal's forward line is competitive. Martinelli, Saka, Gyökeres, Trossard, Madueke. Depth is real. Opportunities must be seized. And Jesus is seizing them efficiently. One involvement every 96 minutes is not accidental, it's instinct. Movement between defenders, timing inside the box, pressing triggers that create chaos. He's not just scoring, he's influencing. Now let's be brutally honest. ACL injuries change players, explosiveness can dip, confidence can wobble, but sometimes perspective strengthens. Jesus looks sharper mentally, more decisive, less wasteful. And when a striker combines efficiency with hunger, that's dangerous. For Arsenal's title push, for Brazil's selection headache, for defenders across Europe. But the competition for Brazil won't disappear. Vinicius and Rodrigo are locked. Wide areas secured. Central striker remains fluid. João Pedro is younger. Richarlison has big tournament pedigree. Others may emerge. So what does Jesus offer that they don't? Consistency under pressure. A proven track record in elite club systems, a willingness to press relentlessly, and a mentality forged by setbacks. Sometimes, managers trust players who've suffered because they know what it costs, and Jesus has paid the price. Nearly a year watching from the sidelines. Nearly 3 years without wearing the Brazil shirt. That kind of absence either breaks you or fuels you, and right now, it looks like fuel. There's also symbolism here. If he forces his way back, it sends a message. Injuries don't define you. Time away doesn't erase you. Relevance can be reclaimed. And for Arsenal, that belief radiates. Because their run-in is intense. Domestic pressure, European ambition, margins thin. Having a striker who smells redemption. That's powerful. But here's the uncomfortable question. What if he doesn't make Brazil's squad? Does the fire dim? Or does it burn hotter? Because rejection can trigger another level, and Arsenal might benefit either way. Let's talk legacy. At 28, Jesus is entering what should be peak years. Not prospect, not veteran, peak. He has the contract security, he has the club backing, he has the numbers. Now he wants the national validation. And that's what makes this compelling. It's not nostalgia, it's not sentiment, it's performance-driven ambition. Look at the stat sheet again. 5 goals, 2 assists, 675 minutes. Efficiency king in Arsenal's attack. Even Bukayo Saka, the golden boy, trails in minutes per involvement. That doesn't diminish Saka. It elevates Jesus. Because impact per minute tells a different story than total minutes played. And that story says he's still lethal. Now imagine this scenario. Arsenal in a title-deciding match. Champions League quarter-final tension, the game tight. Defense is compact. Who do you trust in that moment? A striker chasing redemption, or one comfortable with mediocrity? Jesus is chasing, and chasing players are dangerous. For Brazil, the decision will come down to trust. Does Ancelotti trust his fitness fully? Does he trust the knee? Does he trust the consistency? If the answer is yes, then the narrative shifts dramatically. Because Brazil, with a fully fit, fully motivated Gabriel Jesus, becomes more unpredictable, more layered, more experienced. And Arsenal with that version of Jesus becomes more ruthless. This is bigger than stats. It's about momentum, about belief, about unfinished business. His last Brazil appearance nearly 3 years ago. That's a long exile. But football loves comeback arcs, and the numbers suggest this isn't fantasy. It's realistic. Still, nothing is guaranteed. One dip in form, one setback, one selection snub. And the dream gets complicated. But right now, he's trending upward, sharp, efficient, mentally engaged, physically confident. And for Arsenal, that's priceless. Because they don't just need goals, they need leaders. They need edge. They need someone who understands what it takes to win at the highest level. Jesus has won Premier League titles. He's played in Champions League finals. He's lifted Copa America. He knows what elite standards feel like. And when you combine that experience with something to prove, you get a player who refuses to fade quietly. Brazil's last major trophy was in July 2019. He was central that night. Scored, assisted, sent off, drama and dominance in one performance. That was 5 years ago. A different chapter. But maybe not the final one. Because if he continues at this efficiency rate, if he sustains fitness, if he delivers in Arsenal's biggest games, Ancelotti will have a decision to make. And ignoring a striker producing every 96 minutes won't be easy. So here we are. A comeback brewing. A title race intensifying. A World Cup squad forming. Gabriel Jesus standing at the intersection of all three. For Arsenal, this is opportunity. For Brazil, this is a question mark. For Jesus, this is personal. Nearly 3 years away from the yellow shirt. Nearly a year lost to injury. Now scoring again, believing again, chasing again. And in football, belief changes everything, because sometimes the most dangerous striker isn't the one in form, it's the one with something to prove. So as Arsenal push towards silverware, and Brazil finalise their plans, there's one question hanging in the air. Are we witnessing a resurgence, or the beginning of one of football's most unlikely World Cup comebacks?